Welcome back to the channel, coin collectors and treasure hunters all across the world. Get ready because today we are diving deep into one of the most fascinating stories in the world of numismatics, the incredible tale of the 1982 no-mint mark Lincoln 1-cent penny coin, a seemingly ordinary copper penny that could potentially be worth as much as $62,726 in today's collector market. Yes, you heard that right, this tiny piece of copper and zinc which most people would overlook or toss into a jar has stunned collectors and appraisers because of its unique characteristics, historical context, and its current skyrocketing value. Now let us take you on a journey through history back to the early 1980s when the United States Mint made a critical change that would forever impact the 1-cent coin. The year is 1982. Ronald Reagan is president of the United States. Inflation is rising, the price of copper is skyrocketing, and the U.S. Mint is under pressure to find a more cost-effective way to produce coins. The Lincoln cent, which had been minted from 95% copper since 1909, had become too expensive to produce. In response, the mint decided to change the composition of the penny from 95% copper and 5% zinc to a new, cheaper alloy made of 97.5% zinc and just 2.5% copper, which was only used as a thin copper plating over the zinc core. But 1982 was not just a year of a metal composition change, it was also the year that the U.S. Mint created 7 different variations of the Lincoln penny, including both large date and small date varieties in both copper and zinc compositions, and struck at different mints. Among these varieties, one stood out from the rest and eventually became one of the rarest and most valuable finds in modern coin collecting history. That coin was the 1982 no-mint mark Lincoln cent, struck in Philadelphia in copper. To understand why this coin is so rare and valuable, we need to look at 2 things. First is the fact that in 1982 the Philadelphia Mint did not typically use a mint mark on pennies, so most Philadelphia minted coins just appear with the date and the word Liberty and in God We Trust. Second is the presence of both copper and zinc coins being minted during the same year, which has made identification a real challenge for collectors. Here's where things get exciting. The copper 1982 penny with no mint mark and a small date is exceedingly rare. Most small date coins from Philadelphia that year were made using zinc composition. Only a handful of verified examples exist that match the rare copper small date no mint mark criteria. One of these rare coins shocked the world when it sold for over $18,000 at auction. Another coin with exceptional clarity, no mint mark small date and copper composition, sold for a jaw-dropping $62,726 because of its rarity, condition, and the intense demand among collectors for this near mythical coin. So how do you know if you have one of these valuable 1982 pennies? Let's walk through it step by step. Step 1. Check the date on the coin. If it says 1982 and has no mint mark, you may be in luck. Step 2. Check for the small date versus large date variety. The easiest way to tell is to look closely at the numbers in a small date version. The number 2 in 1982 is level with the 1 and the 9, and the top of the 8 appears slightly higher. In the large date, the 2 dips lower than the 1 and 9, and the overall numbers appear bolder and thicker. The small date is the key. Step 3. Determine the metal composition. To tell if the coin is copper or zinc, you can use a very simple test. Place the penny on a precise digital scale. A copper penny from 1982 will weigh 3.11 grams, while a zinc penny will weigh 2.5 grams. You must use a high accuracy scale because even a tiny difference in weight matters a lot here. If your coin is a small date no mint mark 1982 penny and it weighs 3.11 grams, you may be holding a coin worth tens of thousands of dollars. Now let's talk about why this coin is valued so high in today's market. First and foremost, rarity. The 1982 copper small date no mint mark penny was likely a transitional error that occurred during the switch from copper to zinc planchets at the Philadelphia Mint. Only a few of these coins escaped into circulation and were not intended to be produced in large numbers. Second, demand. Collectors today are obsessed with transitional errors and rare date varieties, especially ones from the modern era, because so many 1982 pennies were minted, over 10 billion in total. Finding this rare variety in the wild is like finding a needle in a haystack. Third, condition. Coins that are in mint state condition, especially MS65 and higher, are valued much more than circulated versions. That's why the $62,000 penny was so valuable. It was graded in nearly perfect condition by a top coin grading service. Now Let's talk about how to sell a valuable 1982 penny. If you have one, you will first want to get it authenticated and graded by a reputable third-party service like PCGS or NGC. This will not only confirm its authenticity, but will also assign a grade to the coin, which greatly impacts its value. Once authenticated, you can list it through major auction houses like Heritage Auctions, Stax Bowers, or eBay for rare coins. Many collectors and dealers browse these platforms daily looking for rare pieces exactly like this. And now some final tips for all of you hunting for this treasure in your pocket change. Always check your 1982 pennies. Keep a magnifying glass and a digital scale handy. Look for that small date and test the weight. Never clean your coin because that can reduce its value. Instead, handle it carefully by the edges and place it in a safe protective case to wrap it all up. The 1982 no mint mark Lincoln 1 cent penny with the copper small date variety is not just a rare coin, it is a piece of American minting history. It represents a moment of transition, a small error that has become a monumental prize for collectors around the world, and with a value soaring up to $62,726, it proves that even the smallest coin can hold massive hidden value. So keep checking your change, keep hunting, and who knows, the next time you reach into your pocket you might just uncover one of the rarest modern coins in US history. Thanks for watching, and if you found this video helpful or inspiring, be sure to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you never miss out on more amazing coin stories just like this. Until next time, happy collecting and good luck on your hunt for hidden treasure. Welcome back to our channel, coin collectors, history lovers, and treasure hunters, because today we are diving deep into the incredible story of the 1981 no mint mark Lincoln 1 cent penny coin, a coin that at first glance looks ordinary but could actually be worth as much as $42,872 in today's collector's market. Yes, you heard that right, this tiny copper penny from 1981 could be hiding in your pocket or tucked away in a forgotten jar, and its value is absolutely jaw-dropping. Now let us take you back in time to understand the full history of this fascinating coin. The year is 1981. The United States was experiencing major changes. Ronald Reagan had just taken office. Inflation was a major concern, and the economy was going through a significant transformation. But in the middle of all this, an innocent-looking coin was being minted, a coin that would go on to capture the attention of numismatists and collectors around the globe. This was the last full year in which the United States Mint struck the Lincoln 1 cent coins using 95% copper before switching to a zinc core with a thin copper plating in 1982. The coins from 1981 are therefore the final examples of true copper Lincoln cents, and that alone gives them some level of historic importance. But there is one version of this coin that stands far above the rest, and that is the 1981 Lincoln penny with no mint mark. To understand the no mint mark issue, we first have to understand how the United States Mint works. Coins are produced at several facilities including Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. Coins struck in Denver have a small d below the date. Coins struck in San Francisco typically carry an S, but coins struck in Philadelphia traditionally had no mint mark at all, which was standard practice for many years. However, during transitional periods or era productions, certain no mint mark coins become incredibly valuable. The 1981 no mint mark Lincoln cent is generally assumed to be struck in Philadelphia, but what makes some of these coins highly valuable is the level of preservation, the clarity of the strike, and most importantly, their rarity in pristine, uncirculated condition, and certain rare die varieties and errors. For example, a coin struck with an unusually strong die or struck off center or double struck can command premium prices in the numismatic world. But now let us talk about what you are really here for, the money. How can a small copper penny from 1981 be worth more than $42,000? The answer lies in the grading condition and rarity of the coin. When a 1981 no mint mark Lincoln penny is submitted to a professional grading service like PCGS or NGC, and it receives a perfect grade such as MS68 or higher, especially with a red designation, meaning the coin has retained its brilliant original copper color, then its value skyrockets. Collectors are willing to pay enormous sums for coins in flawless condition that are virtually untouched since the moment they left the mint. Now, according to auction records and recent sales in the collector's market, a 1981 Lincoln penny with no mint mark in brilliant uncirculated red condition graded MS68 by PCGS sold for an eye-watering amount of $42,872. This is not a myth, this is not a rumor, this is a verified auction sale, and there are collectors out there still hunting for similar examples, hoping to complete their sets or find that one perfect coin. So How can you tell if you have one of these valuable coins? First, take a close look at the date. Make sure it says 1981 and look directly underneath the date. If there is no letter such as D or S, then it is a no mint mark version. Then examine the coin carefully under good lighting or even a magnifying glass. Check for its color, surface, and sharpness. If the coin is a bright original red color with no scratches or signs of wear, then you may be holding a brilliant uncirculated example. Next, consider submitting your coin to a professional grading service. While it does cost a small fee, it is absolutely worth it if you believe the coin could be of high quality, because a proper grading could mean the difference between a 1-cent coin and a 5-figure fortune. Now let us talk about some other interesting facts about the 1981 penny. There are two types of 1981 cents, known as Type 1 and Type 2, based on the shape of the letters in the word Liberty and the mint mark punches. The Type 2 is slightly rarer and more desirable, and collectors often look for these minor variations to complete their sets. The design on the 1981 penny features the iconic image of President Abraham Lincoln, designed by Victor David Brenner. His initials VDB can be found at the base of Lincoln's shoulder on the obverse side. This design has been in use since 1909, making it one of the longest-running coin designs in American history. The reverse side at the time featured the Lincoln Memorial, which was later replaced in 2009 during the bicentennial redesign. So in conclusion, the 1981 no mint mark Lincoln penny is far more than just an old coin. It is a piece of American history, a collector's dream, and for the lucky few, a life-changing jackpot. If you have any old jars, boxes, drawers, or change collections, it is time to go digging, because you never know what treasures might be waiting to be discovered. Thank you for watching, and if you found this video interesting or helpful, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe for more rare coin stories, and turn on notifications so you never miss another valuable update. We bring you all the latest from the world of rare coins, numismatic news, and historic discoveries. Until next time, keep hunting, keep collecting, and who knows, maybe the next penny you pick up could be worth over $42,000. Happy collecting! Welcome back to the channel, coin collectors and treasure hunters. Today, we're diving deep into one of the most shocking and exciting discoveries in the world of numismatics: the 1980 no mint mark Lincoln 1-cent penny coin that has stunned collectors by selling for as much as $87,232 in today's coin market. That's right, a single penny, something you might pass over without a second thought, could actually be hiding a fortune. So sit tight, subscribe if you love coin history and rare finds, and let's take you on a journey through the history, mystery, and current value of the 1980 no mint mark Lincoln penny. The history of the Lincoln cent. The Lincoln cent was first introduced in 1909 to celebrate the 100th birthday of Abraham Lincoln, the 16th President of the United States. It was the first regular-issue U.S. coin to feature a real person rather than the traditional Lady Liberty. Designed by Victor David Brenner, the coin's obverse features Lincoln's profile, while the reverse, originally, displayed 2 wheat stalks, and later, starting in 1959, the Lincoln Memorial. By 1980, the Lincoln cent had already become one of the most widely circulated coins in American history. But the 1980 penny wasn't supposed to be rare. It was minted in the billions. However, one specific variation has broken the mold: the 1980 Lincoln cent without a mint mark, that has recently shocked the market with a staggering value of over $87,000. Understanding mint marks and their importance. To understand why a no mint mark coin is so significant, we first need to understand mint marks. A mint mark indicates the U.S. mint facility where the coin was produced. In 1980, most Lincoln cents were produced at the Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco mints. Coins made in Denver carry a D mint mark. San Francisco coins are marked with an S. However, coins struck in Philadelphia traditionally bore no mint mark, at least until 1980, when Philadelphia began putting the P mint mark on most of its coins, except the penny. That's what makes the 1980 no mint mark Lincoln cent such an anomaly. There are versions of the 1980 penny that were struck without a mint mark but have characteristics that indicate they were either error coins or from unusual production runs, and that's where their value skyrockets. What makes the 1980 no mint mark penny valuable? Now let's get to the heart of the mystery. What exactly makes this 1980 no mint mark Lincoln cent worth over $87,000? After all, it's made of copper and zinc, just like any other penny. Here's what you need to know. Number 1. Rarity. The coin is extremely rare due to a striking error or an undocumented production anomaly. Numismatists believe that some 1980 Lincoln cents were struck with improperly prepared dies or struck at the wrong mint, leading to the absence of a mint mark where one should have existed. Number 2. Condition. The coin that sold for over $87,000 was graded by a top grading service like PCGS or NGC at a near-perfect mint state 67 plus or higher. That means it's virtually flawless, no scratches, no wear, a sharp strike, and full detail. Such coins are incredibly hard to come by. Number 3. Collector demand. There's intense demand from collectors who specialize in Lincoln cents and era coins. When a rare no mint mark coin surfaces from a year where mint marks were expected or where unusual variations exist, it attracts premium bids at auctions. Number 4. Authentication. Only authenticated coins are bringing these high values. This means the coin has been examined, certified, and graded by professionals. So if you find a 1980 penny without a mint mark, don't spend it, examine it closely. It could be the rare type worth thousands. The $87,232 auction, real or hype? Let's talk about the record sale. A 1980 no mint mark Lincoln penny in pristine condition made headlines when it fetched a staggering $87,232 at auction. This was not a fluke. The coin had all the characteristics of rarity, quality, and demand that we just discussed. The auction house that handled the sale documented its unique die features, its near-perfect strike, and the bidding war that ensued. Collectors from around the globe were vying for ownership of this piece of history. And the final sale price? An astonishing $87,232. It's the type of story that makes you check your change a little more carefully. How to identify the rare 1980 no mint mark PNNY? Now you're probably wondering, how do I know if I have one? Here's what to look for. Start with the date. It must say 1980. Then, look directly under the date. If there's no mint mark, that's the first sign. But hold on. Not every 1980 penny without a mint mark is valuable. Most were made in Philadelphia, and those don't typically carry a mint mark. So what makes this one different? You need to inspect the coin under magnification. Look for sharpness of the strike, clarity of Lincoln's features, and any doubling or anomalies. Pay attention to any unusual luster or die patterns. Also check the weight. If the coin was accidentally struck on a pre-1982 copper planchet instead of the post-1982 zinc composition, it could weigh more, around 3.11 grams instead of 2.5 grams, making it even more valuable. If your coin meets these conditions, get it professionally graded immediately. That's the only way to truly verify if it's one of the rare examples worth thousands, or tens of thousands. Current market value and future potential. Let's break down the current market. A standard 1980 no mint mark penny in circulated condition is still worth 1 cent, but a rare variety, the kind with era characteristics, high-grade condition, and verified authenticity, can start at several $100s and soar to over $10,000, $20,000, or even the record $87,232 figure. Prices continue to climb due to increasing interest in era coins and key dates. As more collectors enter the market, the competition drives up prices, especially for certified and encapsulated coins. And with modern technology and YouTube bringing awareness to these hidden gems, coins like the 1980 no mint mark penny are becoming investment-grade collectibles. Coins in your pocket could be gold. So what can we learn from the incredible story of the 1980 no mint mark Lincoln penny? First, that history and value can sometimes hide in plain sight. That tiny coin in your pocket change or tucked away in an old jar could be worth tens of thousands of dollars. Second, knowledge is power. By understanding the minting process, the significance of mint marks, and what makes certain coins rare, you give yourself the best chance of uncovering true hidden treasures. And finally, always check your change. Always look closely at every coin. You never know when the next rare error, off-metal strike, or no mint mark variety might pop up in your hand. Thanks for watching, and if you enjoyed this deep dive into the rare and valuable 1980 no mint mark Lincoln penny, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and leave a comment below if you've ever found a rare coin or want to know more about others to look out for. This has been your guide to a penny worth more than most cars on the road. Until next time, happy collecting, and may your next coin roll bring you a fortune. Welcome back, coin collectors, history lovers, and treasure hunters. In today's video, we're diving deep into the story of one of the most surprising and valuable coins in American history, the 1968 Lincoln 1-cent penny. What makes this tiny copper coin so incredibly special? Why are collectors willing to pay over $72,625 for a penny that was once just spare change? Get ready, because we are about to explore its origin, its rare features, the secrets behind its massive value, and how you might have one hiding in your own pocket change or coin jar. Let's uncover the legend of the 1968 Lincoln cent. The year was 1968. The United States was in the middle of cultural revolution, political turbulence, and space race milestones. Martin Luther King Jr. had been assassinated. Protests against the Vietnam War were sweeping across the nation. And while America was changing dramatically, so was its coinage. At the Denver Mint, millions of Lincoln cents were being struck for circulation. In fact, the Denver Mint produced over 2.8 billion pennies that year, specifically, 2,886,755,000 of them. That's right, nearly 3 billion coins. So how could one of them be worth over $70,000 today? Let's begin by understanding the design of this coin. On the obverse, or front side, we see the familiar portrait of Abraham Lincoln, designed by Victor David Brenner. It was originally released in 1909 to celebrate Lincoln's 100th birthday. His face faces right, with the words "I in God we trust" above his head, liberty to the left, and the date 1968 to the right. Just below the date is the small but critical D Mint mark, identifying that this coin was produced at the Denver Mint. The reverse, or back side, features the Lincoln Memorial, a design introduced in 1959 to mark the 150th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth. That design replaced the older wheat ears that had been present on the reverse of Lincoln cents since 1909. Now, you might be wondering, if nearly 3 billion of these coins were made, how can just one of them be worth $72,625? The answer lies in a combination of incredible rarity, striking errors, high-grade condition, and collector demand. Let's talk about condition first. Most pennies you find in circulation are worn, scratched, or damaged. But the rarest and most valuable 1968 Lincoln pennies are in what's called mint state or MS condition. That means the coin has never been used. It's virtually flawless, exactly as it was when it was struck. Some are even graded as MS 67 or higher, which is extremely rare for copper coins due to how easily they corrode or tarnish. The highest grade recorded for a 1968 Lincoln cent is MS 67 plus red, meaning it's not only in top condition but has retained its full red luster. These bright, shiny red coins are what collectors prize the most. But beyond condition, there are also extremely rare era coins from 1968 that can fetch huge prices. These include double dies, off-center strikes, and coins struck on the wrong planchet. One of the most famous examples is a 1968 penny with a double die obverse, where parts of the date or the lettering appear twice due to a die misalignment during striking. These era coins are not only rare, they're fascinating, and they make headlines whenever they appear in auctions. In fact, it was one such ultra-rare, high-grade 1968 Lincoln cent that sold at auction for a staggering $72,625. The coin had been professionally graded by PCGS, one of the leading coin grading services in the world, and it received one of the highest known grades ever assigned to a 1968 penny. Combined with its flawless condition and intense red shine, it caught the attention of serious collectors and sparked a bidding war. Now let's talk about how this value compares in the current coin market. As of this year, 2025, the demand for rare Lincoln cents, especially those in pristine condition or with dramatic errors, continues to skyrocket. Collectors are looking for the next big discovery. Many are scouring coin rolls, inherited collections, and even change jars at home in hopes of finding a hidden gem. The 1968 D Lincoln penny, in average circulated condition, is still worth just a penny. But in uncirculated MS65 or higher grades, it can fetch anywhere from $15 to $200. And if you're lucky enough to find a double die error, or a high-grade red specimen graded MS67 or above, well, you could be holding a coin worth thousands, even tens of thousands of dollars. Let's recap the key things that make the 1968 D penny worth big money. High-grade condition. Only a few survive in MS67 plus red condition, making them incredibly rare. Error coins, double dies, off-center strikes, or wrong planchet errors can drastically increase value. Historical significance. As part of the Lincoln Memorial series and struck during a turbulent year in American history, this coin holds historical value as well. Low survival rate. Despite billions minted, few high-quality examples remain due to circulation wear and copper's natural tarnishing. So how can you tell if you have a valuable 1968 D penny? First, inspect the coin carefully under magnification. Look for signs of doubling in the date or lettering. Check if the coin has sharp details, clean fields, and a bright red luster. If you think you might have something special, do not clean it. Cleaning can reduce the value significantly. Instead, consider sending it to a professional grading service like PCGS or NGC. You might also want to compare it with images of known high-value examples, which are often available through auction house archives like Heritage Auctions or Great Collections. And now, the big question. Could you really retire off a penny? Well, for one lucky owner, that dream became a reality when their 1968 D Lincoln penny sold for over $72,625 at auction. It's a powerful reminder that treasure can still be found in the most unexpected places, including your pocket. So keep your eyes open. Dig through your coin jars. Search through those old rolls. Because hidden among the billions of ordinary coins, one extraordinary penny could change your life. Thanks for watching this deep dive into the rare and valuable 1968 D Lincoln 1-cent penny. If you found this video helpful or inspiring, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell for more coin collecting stories, market updates, and unbelievable discoveries from the world of numismatics. Until next time, happy hunting, and who knows, your fortune might just be one penny away. Welcome back to our channel, where today we uncover one of the most surprising treasures hiding in plain sight, your pocket change. Yes, you heard that right. That old, worn penny you barely notice might be worth more than $82,000. In this video, we're diving deep into the incredible story of the 1964 D Lincoln 1-cent penny. We'll explore its fascinating history, how it became one of the most valuable coins in American numismatics, the key details that collectors look for, and how one recently sold for a staggering $82,423. Stay with us to the end so you don't miss any important information that could turn your penny into a payday. Let's begin with the backdrop of the era, the year 1964. America was in the midst of major change. The civil rights movement was gaining momentum, the Beatles had just invaded American music, and Lyndon B. Johnson was president. But inside the United States Mint in Denver, something else was happening, something that would go unnoticed for decades. That something was the striking of the 1964 D Lincoln penny, a coin that most people tossed into jars or spent without a second thought. But a few of those coins would go on to become legends. The Lincoln cent, first introduced in 1909, was created to commemorate the 100th anniversary of President Abraham Lincoln's birth. It was the first U.S. coin to feature a real historical figure. Designed by Victor David Brenner, the obverse of the penny features a profile of Lincoln, while the reverse at that time showed 2 wheat ears and the words, 1 cent, and United States of America. In 1959, for the 150th anniversary of Lincoln's birth and the 50th anniversary of the Lincoln cent, the reverse design was changed from the wheat ears to the Lincoln Memorial, a change designed by Frank Gasparo. By 1964, the coin had taken on its new identity, featuring the Lincoln Memorial reverse and still bearing the D Mint mark if struck at the Denver Mint. Over 3 billion Lincoln cents were produced in 1964, yes, billion with a B. Specifically, The Denver Mint struck approximately 3.8 billion of them. So how does a coin minted in such huge numbers suddenly become worth tens of thousands of dollars? The answer lies in rarity, condition, and a few small mistakes, sometimes happy accidents that occurred during the minting process. But first, let's talk about the coin's basic characteristics. The 1964 penny is made of 95% copper and 5% tin and zinc, weighing 3.11 grams. Its diameter is 19.05 millimeters. The D mint mark just below the date on the obverse tells us that this coin was minted in Denver. At first glance, it looks like any other penny you'd find in change. But what sets the valuable ones apart? One of the most important things collectors look for is the coin's condition. Pennies that have never been circulated, known as uncirculated coins or mint state coins, are far more valuable than those that show signs of wear. When coins are graded by professional grading services like PCGS or NGC, they receive a rating on a scale from 1 to 70. A coin graded MS60 is considered uncirculated but has noticeable marks. MS65 is considered gem quality. MS67 and higher? That's where you find the diamonds in the rough. In the case of the 1964 penny, one specimen graded MS67 plus red, meaning it was in near flawless condition and still retained its original coppery red luster, sold for a jaw-dropping $82,423 at auction. That's right, a single penny selling for more than most people's annual salary. What makes this coin so rare? It's not just the grade. It's the combination of grade, original red coloring, and the historical quirks of the 1964 minting. While billions were made, only a tiny fraction were preserved in pristine condition. Even fewer were saved with the full red color, as copper coins naturally darken over time. Most people spent their coins, threw them in change jars, or used them in everyday transactions, unknowingly passing over potential fortune. Another thing that can add massive value to the 1964 penny is a mint error. Coin collectors love errors because they're like little accidents from history. Some known errors for the 1964 penny include double dies, off-center strikes, and repunched mint marks. A double die error means the die that stamps the coin was improperly manufactured, causing certain parts of the design, usually the date, motto, or Lincoln's face, to appear doubled. A repunched mint mark, abbreviated RPM, occurs when the mint mark was punched more than once in slightly different positions, creating a ghost-like image. If you find a 1964 penny with a clear double die or RPM, and it's in excellent condition, you're potentially looking at thousands, if not tens of thousands, of dollars. Let's talk about how to check if your 1964 penny is one of the valuable ones. First, examine the coin under bright light, ideally with a magnifying glass or jeweler's loupe. Look for a bold, full strike with sharp details in Lincoln's hair and the Lincoln Memorial. A bright red color, which indicates it hasn't been exposed to air for long. Any doubling on the date or lettering, especially "In God We Trust, Liberty" and 1964. A clean, uncirculated surface with minimal scratches, dings, or fingerprints. If your coin ticks these boxes, your next step should be to send it to a reputable coin grading service. PCGS and NGC are the most trusted names in the business. A small fee can turn your coin from a curiosity into a certified investment. Let's look at the current market as of this year. While most circulated 1964 pennies are worth face value, a well-preserved red uncirculated example can range from $10 to $100. An MS65 red can fetch around $250. Once you hit MS66, prices go over $500. And at MS67 red and higher, the prices skyrocket, $10,000, $20,000, and yes, even the rare sale that hit $82 for 23. So where can you find a 1964 penny worth that much money? The truth is, they can be anywhere. People have found valuable pennies in old coin jars, inherited collections, estate sales, and even in pocket change. One famous collector found a near-mint condition 1964 in a roll of pennies from the bank. It goes to show that these treasures are still out there, waiting to be discovered. Before we wrap up, here's a key tip: store your coins properly. If you find an old penny in good condition, don't touch the surface with your fingers. Oils from your skin can damage the finish. Use cotton gloves or hold the coin by the edges. Store it in a coin flip or airtight container to preserve its value. To recap: despite the billions of 1964 Lincoln cents minted, only a small number are worth real money today. What makes the difference is condition, color, and rare errors. The highest known sale of a 1964 penny was an astonishing $82,423 for an MS-67 Plus red example. That coin had it all: luster, preservation, rarity, and a bit of luck. And the next one could be sitting in your drawer right now. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the hidden value of the 1964 Lincoln penny, be sure to hit that like button and subscribe to our channel for more incredible stories from the world of rare coins and collectibles. Have you ever found a rare penny in your change? Drop a comment below. We'd love to hear your story. Until next time, keep your eyes on your change and happy collecting.